Jane was a normal girl growing up in her city, nothing out of the ordinary. She had dreams and aspirations, just like everyone else. She wanted to make an impact on the world and leave behind something meaningful. But one day everything changed when Jane stumbled upon an old book that would alter her life forever. The book spoke of dark entities living among people in her city, entities that fed off their negative emotions such as fear, anger, sadness, and despair. As Jane read further into the book, she found out these entities were responsible for many of the problems plaguing her city: poverty, crime rate increase, and more. And it became clear to her what she must do: hunt down these creatures and banish them back to where they belong. Jane started researching about these entities in libraries and online forums for days on end until eventually finding a group of people who knew exactly how to battle them. Armed with this knowledge, Jane set out on a mission to rid her beloved home from any kind of darkness lurking within its walls. She began by visiting places known for supernatural activity late at night or early morning before anyone was awake, scanning each area carefully but cautiously with eyes wide open, looking for any signs that might indicate danger ahead, or any strange beings lurking around corners waiting to pounce on unsuspecting victims. Nothing seemed unusual, however, so she continued on gamely until finally coming across an abandoned building near the outskirts of town, which seemed oddly familiar yet foreign at the same time, like some hidden force was guiding her towards it without actually allowing herself to understand why. After entering inside through a broken window pane, which luckily wasn't barred shut, Jane soon discovered that this dilapidated building served as a sort of stronghold for those very same dark entities mentioned in the old book. She could sense their presence all around, emanating an aura of evil powerful enough, though no physical manifestation existed yet, easily distinguishable amongst other energies present there too. It felt almost suffocating being inside, so close proximity which such malice forces, but despite feeling scared deep down inside, something compelled Jane forward, determinedly, instead, forcing her not to succumb to fear, while slowly walking around exploring every nook and cranny, hoping to find clues leading towards understanding and ultimately destroying those creatures once and for all. Jane was determined to find a way to combat these dark entities and keep them from spreading their negative energy throughout her city. She researched more about different methods for banishing them, such as using light or sound waves, but nothing seemed effective enough. Then one day, during her explorations of the stronghold, she noticed something strange. The darkness seemed thinner in some areas and thicker in others, almost like it was following an invisible pattern dictated by something else entirely. After further investigation, she found out that the positive emotions present within people were actually weakening the hold of these creatures on their victims. So if she could somehow spread positivity through her city, then maybe it would be enough to weaken the grip of these beings on everyone living there. With this newfound knowledge, Jane set out on another mission to bring joy and happiness back into the lives of those who lived in her beloved home. She started organizing community events with local businesses, utilizing social media platforms like Twitter and Instagram to spread awareness and love around town. Even starting up a podcast dedicated solely to discussing topics related to building up each other's spirits. Anything that might help shift people's mindsets away from sadness and despair towards hope and optimism. Slowly but surely, Jane started seeing results. More people smiling when walking down the streets instead of frowning or simply looking blankly forward, without any emotion whatsoever. People began feeling safe again, knowing that someone was out there fighting for them, which only strengthened Jane's resolve to never stop trying until every single creature had been banished back to where they belonged. After months of hard work, Jane's efforts finally paid off, and the once powerful grip these dark entities had on her city was now weak enough for them to be banished from their stronghold. She felt a great sense of pride knowing that she had succeeded in her mission, not just for herself, but also for everyone else living there too. But Jane wasn't done yet. Inspired by her own success, she decided to use this momentum to help others affected by similar darkness around the world. Through connecting with like-minded people online and continuing with community events wherever possible, she eventually managed to create a ripple effect of positivity across many different cities, weakening the hold of these malicious creatures on innocent victims everywhere. To this day, Jane still continues fighting against darkness, determined never to stop working towards making our world a brighter place, full of love and light. Her inspiring story has even motivated many individuals out there who are currently engaged in similar battles, proving that together we can make an impact no matter how big or small it may seem at first. So if you ever feel like giving up, remember Jane's courage and resilience when faced with overwhelming odds, because no matter what happens, if we keep pushing forward, anything is possible.